have no idea what you're getting yourself into here.
Danny, where are you?
Oh my God!
Answer me.
No, 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 no. Oh, no. No, 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 no.
I just came from watching Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is a 2024 American supernatural horror film. This is going to be a non-spoiler review of this film. In the cast, I noticed that the young boy who plays Homelander's son from The Boys was here, so I found that to be pretty nice. The plot centers on a writer who returns to his hometown of Jerusalem's Lot in search of inspiration, only to discover the presence of a vampire. And it is the feature film adaptation of the book, preceded by miniseries versions from 1979 and 2004. Now here's the thing, this is my first time hearing of Salem's Lot. So this review is from the perspective of a guy who has never heard anything of Salem's Lot. So first off, what I have to say is that because this is like, I'm assuming reboot, remake, whatever the hell, because there are so many of them in 2024, most of what I'm saying is just my opinions based off of watching this from the first time, hearing of this from the first time. The first 30 minutes of the film felt very all over the place. The way they introduce characters, the main character is the writer guy, but the film sort of introduces you to so many characters too quickly. I feel like it was a bit all over the place. Once they begin having vampires do their vampire thing and their victims, that is where now at least the movie picks up and I begin to see what the film is about. Even when I was going in on it, I just knew that there will be a vampire involved, but I didn't know anything else. Can I just mention this film has some seriously good shots? I typically don't care about videography and visuals of a film, but there's some really good shots of this film. Like there's this one scene where some dude has some bread, and then the way the transition is done is pretty cool. And there's this one scene where some kids are walking in the forest and you see them with their silhouettes. And there's this one scene where a vampire attacks someone, like in like a underground basement or something. Really good lighting and visuals and the way it's shot that I really liked. I'm just giving you my perspective. The film sticks to mostly old school vampire stuff. So if you're like a Vampire Diaries fan, there's no rings that can make you walk in the daylight, and you know the way Vampire Diaries likes. Whenever you think about vampires, there's so many stuff that comes to mind, whether it's Twilight or True Blood or Vampire Diaries, but Vampire Diaries is the first thing that comes to my mind. And in this movie, there's no complicated lore. They're using the basics of vampires, which is crosses, holy water, garlic, stakes. I think the biggest crime of this film is that it doesn't do anything new. As a person who has never watched Salem's Lot, the biggest crime of this film specifically, I don't know about what was in the past, but the biggest crime of this one is that it doesn't do anything new. It's stuck to a very generic, formulaic, very safe film. I enjoyed myself. By the time the film was over, I was like, that was a pretty nice watch. But everything felt very generic. Typically, I've noticed that the films that I like the best, the ones that stick with me the longest, are the ones that have something very unique to say, or that they have very strong themes and like lessons and stuff like that. With this film, it was your typical small town, guy goes back to where he was born, vampires invade, and it's the simplest 1 + 1 is equals to 2, 2 + 2 is equals to 4, 4 + 4 is equals to 8 type formula of writing this film. I didn't hate it. As a person who has never watched Salem's Lot, I didn't hate it. So out of 10, this movie gets a 6. I found it to be an interesting watch. And as I mentioned in one of my reviews, there's something called Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is basically when you tell people something in the film, or you show them something very innocuous in the film, and then later on in the plot it's used again. They did that in this movie, which I liked. However, I should mention that there are some characters here, two ladies in this film, who do some extremely dumb stuff. I know in horror films there's always characters doing dumb stuff, but sometimes the stupidity is so obvious you're like, come on now. Like if you can't just say, hey, let's go check this out. We might be in trouble, but who cares? Let's just go check this out and put ourselves in that situation. Like, why? Like, why would you even take the chance? There's this other character who she's like looking for a husband, and as soon as she gets a husband, she's just willing to do anything for that husband. And I was like, huh? I barely know this character. Their motivation is remarkably dumb. At least if I understood their backstory better. But she's just a woman in love looking for a man. So whatever she does looks absolutely dumb and arbitrary. Anyway, regardless, I enjoyed it. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you've watched the old Salem's Lot material, please comment below and tell me what you thought of this film. I just thought it was very inoffensive, generic, and it didn't bring anything new, but I enjoyed it because I've never watched Salem's Lot before. On this screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done for films this year. There have been a lot of horror, so I'll leave some here on screen. Tell me what you thought of this film, and then I'll see you in the next one.